What scares you the most right now on the prospect that like we'll be doing this for another 18 months?
Every day's just blurring together because it's just nonstop, the same routine, and I just feel kind of trapped and kind of stressed.
The thing that scares me most right now is if someone in my family gets it.
It is permanent now, and it felt temporary in March.
I just think everyone I know is anxious seeing how many deaths there are, and I definitely think things opening up has helped my anxiety a lot. How I feel about the pandemic has changed. I don't view it as a new, almost exciting thing like I did last year. It's more of a tragedy.
I've been really low energy. I've been really depressed. It's fun. Earlier in quarantine, I had some pretty scary mental health stuff go down, and so that was pretty frightening.
A whole lot has changed in my mental health over the course of the pandemic. At the beginning, I was really depressed. I found out I was bipolar. I was sleeping more than I was awake. I don't really know if it was a medication problem or vitamin D deficiency. I'm doing so insanely better. I was so lucky to have been able to be medicated. Being able to do that changed my life.
I just feel so lonely all the time. I talk to my friends, but as soon as I'm done talking to them, I'm like, oh my god, where did everyone go?
My lowest point this year was definitely around October, where I was just so lonely, and I've been in quarantine for so long, and since school was starting to ramp up, I just got so much homework just piled on top of me. I am not sleeping that much. 4 hours? It's really bad.
I don't think I'm doing well without people. I'm a 15-year-old, just like a cat. There's a breakdown coming.
I know that personally I've gone through 6 hair colors this year. I don't know, I feel like being alone with yourself, you get bored a lot faster. But I don't think that's a bad thing.
Self-isolation, I feel like I'm going crazy inside of my own house.
I realized that there's so many people that are experiencing the same thing as me. I decided to band together with a bunch of people, and we started doing lots of fun things together virtually.
When the only people you can talk to are your family, it gets really bad really quickly.
We've been able to spend a lot of time together, and our only one day family dinners turned into almost every night, which has been so much fun. The lowest point this year was definitely my cooking phase or my knitting phase. I set rice on fire, which I didn't know was a thing.
There are a lot of things I was looking forward to that quarantine has taken away from me. I'm going to be a freshman in college this year. My school just came out saying that our entire fall semester will be online. I lost my senior year lacrosse season as a captain, and obviously that's something that I can never get back, and I know that I'll never get it back. Was a very low point in my life, and that's something that COVID has taken away from me.
I've definitely felt lonely at times. My school does hybrid learning, but I haven't been to any in-person days since February. My favorite thing about this year has definitely been seeing people stand up for Black lives, Black trans lives, and Asian lives. It's so important, and it's something that's really been lacking in previous years.
My feelings have changed a bit more for the pandemic. Last March, I felt like it was a bit more dangerous. I was living with my grandparents. We didn't know what to do. We were trying to be as safe as possible. I really miss just seeing everyone's faces and just having those kinds of interactions.
I thought I was going to a 4-year university. I decided to go to a 2-year university. I'm excited to meet new people.
Not being able to go to college in person for my freshman year, that was really hard. I was really looking forward to living away from home and being more independent, meeting new friends.
It's my first year in high school, and I want to meet new people, meet my teachers. I really haven't been able to meet anyone. And it's definitely hard to organize all of your homework and classwork and projects over online when you can't go to the teacher for in-person help.
Have I felt anxious? 1000%. I don't know if I felt depressed. I'm not that good at recognizing how I feel, but quarantine has made me completely on a terrible, terrible, terrible sleep schedule.
I've definitely felt isolated a lot. And especially anxious, I think, is the main emotion. I've just been in bed a lot more than normal. I've also spent so much more time on my phone than I did before, like 7 hours a day. That's so bad.
7.5 hours.
Definitely around 10 hours.
5 or 6 hours, which I was like, what am I doing for that long?
5 hours and 35 minutes.
Since none of us were connected physically, social media made us feel somewhat connected.
I'll be on FaceTime with some of my friends for up to 5 hours just talking because we don't have that in-person contact. We have to use FaceTime.
I do want life to go back to normal, and the more I say that, I realize the harder and harder it gets to visualize a life without COVID.
I really want to go off and be independent and travel and meet new people, go to college in person.
I wish things could go back to the way they were before. I loved it that way. It's the most natural to me and I miss it.
I definitely feel less scared of COVID than I felt a year ago now that the vaccine's coming out more and more.
I think we will still be wearing masks, and I think it'll be a staple of society.
Even if we stop wearing masks, I'm not going to. There are still anti-vaxxers. It's so crazy to think that there's a time that I didn't even realize that wearing a mask was, what we need to do.
Thinking of myself in public without a mask on my face feels weird.
My prediction, next winter, no masks. And I'm willing to put some money on that, like $2.